Hey, hello everybody. I just wanted to share a devotional with you here on this Friday afternoon. Weekend is almost here. What a week. I hope you've had a good one. I hope it's been a blessed week for you. Maybe it's been a tough one. If it's been a tough one, you might enjoy today's devotional. I'm in Mark chapter 14 here lately, and there's a whole lot of things that happen in Mark 14. First of all, I want to read verses 43 through 50 with you. It says, "And immediately while he was still speaking, Judas came, one of the 12, with him a crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, 'The one I will kiss is the man. Seize him and lead him away under guard.' And when he came, he went up to him at once and said, 'Rabbi,' and he kissed him. And they laid hands on him and seized him. But one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. And Jesus said to them, 'Have you come out against a robber with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I was with you in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled.' And they all left him and fled." And they all left him and fled. Now that's not verse 50 there, that short little verse, "and they all left him and fled," is not referring to those who were taking him captive, who were arresting him. No, that is referring to his disciples, the apostles. Those whom he spent so much time with, teaching and showing and doing miracles in front of them and just loving them. And they all left him and fled. That's not all. And later on in this chapter is where Peter denies even knowing Jesus. So Peter, of course, one of those who fled, everybody fled. So Jesus is before this council, and as they're holding this pretty much, and it's an inappropriate trial for him because they're kind of doing it in the middle of the night and, not really going through all the proper steps. So Jesus is arrested, and they're just interrogating him, and they're beating on him, and meanwhile Peter is hanging out outside with a group of others, and he's warming himself at this fire, and sure enough, a servant girl, "Hey, aren't you one of them? Aren't you one of Jesus' disciples? You also were with the Nazarene Jesus." But he denied it, saying, "I neither know him nor understand what you mean." And so he continues to be interrogated about being one of them. And it's not Mark's gospel, but one of the others says that he cursed. He cursed. I don't know the man. Or to us it might be, "I don't know the bleeping man." And then this rooster crows, and he remembers what Jesus said, "You're going to deny me, Peter." And he just breaks down and cries. He feels like such a loser. How's your week been? Have you had moments of just feeling like a bad Christian? A bad person? I want to encourage you to just keep going. Please just confess to God how you've messed up this week. Confess and open up your Bible again. Open up your heart again to Him. Spend time with Jesus. Talk with Him again. I think sometimes, and here this happens to me, folks, sometimes I'm my worst enemy when it comes to me getting back into fellowship with God, when maybe I feel like I've blown it and I've just kind of and my sin or my whatever it is, my hardness, it just distances me puts this distance between me and God. I'm my own worst enemy, and I believe we also have an enemy that tries to tell us, you're not worthy. You can't just go back to him. I mean, he's not going to just receive you back and forgive you. Why would he do that? And the reality is yes, he would. Yes, he will, and he certainly does. So I want to encourage you, confess what you need to confess and get back into fellowship with him. Just do it. If you haven't been in a church for a while, I want to encourage you, attend church. Get back into a body of believers in a Bible-believing church, gospel-preaching church that can equip you, disciple you to be a better follower of Jesus, a stronger Christian. We need each other. Press on, friends. Have a great weekend.